Today we just landed in Osaka. The boys and I are going to go to one of the smallest islands in Japan.
We'll be leaving all of the neon and the flash, and we're going to be doing a Buddhist pilgrimage.
It's not only a physical journey, but it's a mental journey.
I'm really curious to see how detached I can become and whether or not I can become enlightened.
I've never seen anything this beautiful. This is crazy. My brothers and I were cruising around central Osaka, and you just knew you were in Japan. You knew you were in one of those magical, famous urban landscapes that Japan does so well.
Just like you see on TV, it's just neon lights everywhere. I'd hate to see the electric bill for this country. It's absolutely insane. But it's so sexually driven. Everywhere we went, there was transvestites outside of bars.
BBC camera, transsexual.
Transsexual.
Japanese, yay! What's your national?
Canada.
Canada. Oh, Canada, yay!
Come today.
Montreal.
If that's not a welcome to Japan, nothing is, eh?
Oh, my. Welcome to my home away from home here in Japan.
I've lived in Japan for a few years now, but I've never been to Shikoku, and I've never been to the 88 Temple Circuit. Shikoku Island is an isolated island, and not many Japanese people even get there. So it's not your regular tourist destination. We're going on a Zen pilgrimage walk around 88 temples. Me and my brothers are in for quite a unique journey.
Tonight, we're staying in a capsule hotel. It's really, really bizarre. It's quite interesting. It's a great way to spend the first night. What a cultural experience. I've always heard of them, and Jeff's always explained them to me, and I was always looking forward to getting in one, and here I am tonight. It's a great start to the trip.
These rooms are great.
This capsule hotel has 8 or 9 floors of capsule beds stacked on top of each other.
These things are fantastic. They're like honeycombs and bee wasps. These things are great. They even got TVs. Good night, boys. Night, bass. Night, squids.
See you in the morning, boys.
All right, see you guys in the morning.
We made it today to Shikoku Island and the 88 Temple Circuit. It's a beautiful island, and it's nice to get away from the speed and pace of Osaka.
The whole atmosphere of this trip is completely going to change. This pilgrimage that we're trying to go on, it is a journey very different from what we've done before. It's very much we're going inward. When we arrived at Temple 1, I had a sense of calm.
Wow. First temple, boys.
These temples, they have such a calming effect. They're very peaceful and serene.
How different is this from Osaka yesterday?
Even that first temple, I could feel it in me and around me, and I think in the attitudes of Jeff and Steve.
This is serious Zen, fellas.
And that's just the first temple.
I think I'm feeling a little more detached already. Yeah, I think. Oh, hello, pilgrim sama.
Arigato.
You look a little bit ridiculous, I think.
I think that the most interesting part of this trip for me so far has been talking to that monk today. He had clarity. He had something which a lot of people need.
How long has he been a monk?
Obasama wa nan kan wa.
I'm certainly glad we have Jeff with us on this trip because Japanese is a very difficult language.
He's 77. He's been a monk for 70 years.
Oh,
Since he was 7. Wow. Obasama, honto, really. In Satori, enlightenment wa sagashimasu. Inside.
Your mind. In your mind. Satori.
In your mind, in your heart, is enlightenment.
もう一人強い綺麗な美しいピュアなマインド。
Purity. Your heart is pure and you must find it. Maybe now cloudy.
He said it's there, it's just you have to find it.
Yep. Yep. 1 down, 87 to go.
After getting dressed and meeting Obasama at Temple 1 and becoming a little bit calm, we started on our journey. And we stepped out of Temple 1 and started walking for Temple 2.
We're off to find enlightenment. This is it?
yeah, it's not much of a path.
The pathway led down the highway. And I was very disappointed, pretty pissed off, actually. I didn't want to be walking on the side of the road. I wanted a beautiful path with birds and crickets chirping and perhaps a river running beside it.
I'm not sure about finding enlightenment on the highway.
No.
It's a good lesson. You have to stop complaining and accept things for the way they are.
This is crap. Get me some woods.
This is serious, Sam. I'm really curious to see how detached I can become.
In your mind. Satori.
It's not only a physical journey, but it's a mental journey.
This is it?
It's not much of a path.
One thing I noticed, it's only old people doing this circuit. The young generation, kind of like us, they don't have time for this stuff. You know, they'd rather go and travel across India or they'd go to Europe where it's exciting and crazy. But we're learning about the Japanese culture. We're learning about Japan that very other few people, few foreigners, and especially young Westerners our age ever get to see.
We haven't seen any foreigners yet. There's no foreigners here. It's a very remote island in southern Japan, Shikoku. If foreigners do come to Japan, they go to Tokyo or Kyoto. They never make it to this remote island of Shikoku.
Okay, yeah, she said it's first time she's seen three foreigners dressed up serious like real Ohenro-samas. She said, you look great. Ah, okay.
Number 6.
Number 6.
I am feeling like as you go along, you start to feel more relaxed and more calm.
And you're washing away the sins of the secular world and cleaning yourself for entry into spiritual world.
Just proper calligraphy too.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so.
Arigato.
Shiki nu genni bi setsu shini bu shiki soko mi soko ho mu kenkai nai shi mu I shiki kai mu myo yaku mu myo zin.
The Hana Shingyo, it's the Heart Sutra. It calms you. It's like meditation.
Hanya Shingo.
tonight in the temple, we had a great meal with all the other pilgrims and beautiful food, a very Japanese-style dinner. Lots of food.
I have no idea how to eat any of this food, what goes with what.
Do you know how to use chopsticks?
Yeah.
Beautiful food, very foreign from what we're used to, and I love it.
Pickled radish.
Pickled radish?
We sat down at dinner with all the other pilgrims. They were all drinking beer. I was very surprised how much beer was on the tables. But the boys and I said, no, we're not drinking beer. Try not to look at young, attractive women. It's not going to be easy, but I think it's going to help clear the mind. Tonight, we went to a prayer session here in the temple. We read the prayer that we always read at each temple.
These Zen temples are incredible oases of spirituality and calm. For us to come here together and detach and to cut ourselves off from the crazy world that we generally live, it's important.
I think just after a while, and visiting these temples and the tranquility of these temples, there's a possibility that I will find an inner peace within myself. I think I can attain that.
So that's it, boys. We hit number 7 temple.
Tonight we're sleeping in a temple, on the floor, on mats. 82 more to go.
What's good night in Japanese?
Oyasumi nasai.
What is it?
Oyasumi nasai.
Can I just say domo domo?
Yeah.
Domo domo.
Today's another big day on our 88 Temple pilgrimage because we're going to hit a couple of spiritual and physical challenges today.
Rufu I shiki shiki sokuze kuku sokuze shiki zyo so gyo shiki yakubu yo ze xiao ri shi ze syo ku so fu syo fu matsu fu ku fu zyo fu zo fu jen zen ko ku kyu mu shuki mu zyu so.
What are your shoes like, fellas?
Oh,
I've got good shoes.
my feet are gonna kill me. I've got bad shoes.
You knew you were going on a pilgrimage. I don't know why you'd wear those shoes.
We walked from Temple 11 to Temple 12, and it was a tough hike. It was what I was expecting more on this trip. The whole hike between Temples 11 and 12 is one of the fall-down hikes. It's a tough challenge. It's where people historically have encountered trouble, and there's been actually quite a few deaths along that route.
Starting to sweat. Sweating already.
We pushed our body and we pushed our mind, so it was a spiritual and it was a physical challenge for us. The physical and the mental are very connected. I think physical training helps clear your mind. It helps give you mental clarity. It was amazing. You were just walking, not thinking of anything. There was nothing in your head, just marching up the mountain to Temple 12.
Wow, these trees. Serious.
I'm feeling more detached, boys.
Yeah.
Wow! Look at Kobo Daishi.
A wonderful surprise on the hike was the Kobo Daishi statue. Kobo Daishi is everywhere. Kobo Daishi is the heart and soul of this Zen pilgrimage route. Kobo Daishi was born 1,200 years ago, and he started the 88 Temple Circuit. On the back of our white pilgrimage outfits are the words Dogyonin. It means two people walking together, which means the spirit of Kobo Daishi is with you at all times on your pilgrimage. Our staff represents Kobo Daishi, walking with Kobo Daishi, him giving you strength, him giving you power.
I still can't imagine when Kobo Daishi did it 1,200 years ago.
But there'd be no path.
No food stations, no drink stations.
I want to not only walk in the footsteps of Kobo Daishi, but I want to follow in his mental journey as well.
He's the man. Kobo Daishi's the man.
We want to get as close to enlightenment or nirvana as we can on this trip. So we've got a challenge ahead of us.
Nearly at the top.
That's the temple there, I think, isn't it? I hope it is.
Oh, my legs are killing me.
My neck's sore, too. I don't know if it's from looking down, walk up the hills.
It was a long walk. We walked for hours. It was hot, we were sweating, my muscles were sore, but we finally reached Temple 12 on the mountaintop, and what a good feeling. What a great feeling.
We made it. Yeah. That was a long walk.
Black belt.
Yo, bro.
You're a black belt.
He had a 6th-degree black belt in karate. A 6th dan is what they call it here.
He hasn't even got into the legs.
And I tell you, he is in incredible shape.
Okay.
He was so flexible and so powerful and so quick.
Oh, shit. If I saw you... Takeshi! It's Takeshi! 30 years, he is one tough guy.
Serious practice now, okay?
He was concentrated. He was focused. What he was doing was Zen through action, through doing.
Hey.
Ouch! Ow, I'm weak. My feet are weak.
Everything kind of almost ties back to this pilgrimage. It's all coming from within, an inner peace, an inner strength, and that's exactly what this journey is turning out to be.
That's as far as it goes.
We also had a quick introduction to the art of archery. And again, such a strong, quiet, concentration type of exercise.
The Japanese culture is just such a beautiful and precise, spirited and mental culture. Everything's perfect and precise, and it's beautiful to watch the discipline they have and the care that they take in everything that they do. The Japanese are really impressing me as I go further and further along in this pilgrimage.
When you do Kyudo, is your mind clear?
その先生は無心なのか、
目標はここにあるんです。心の中に。
He had a target already. So, of course, I was watching the target, but I was fighting myself. So, you are right. I was not thinking.
How do you clear your mind when you're doing this?
それがもう静かな時は本当に気持ちがパッと開く。
Sorry, I can't tell you still. So, I'm practicing now. Still.
Still searching,
Yeah,
still
yeah, yeah.
trying to practice this. And you've been doing this for 50 years.
Of course, me too. I want to know. So, please tell me.
Wow. And he's been doing this for 50 years. Oh, wow.
Still, he is thinking about that.
Yes.
A lot of these people that we're asking
they don't have answers either, and they're twice our age, and they've come a lot closer to Buddha and to Zen Buddhism that we have, and they're still searching. So I think that's a bit of a realization for me that maybe you'll get through this entire lifetime and you'll be really no closer to where you were when you started.
Arigato. Hi. How about it?
It's not easy. You're searching for something that's elusive. You can't put your finger on. No one can really show it to you. No one can really explain it to you.
Today is a rather important day in our journey. We come to one of the 4 spiritual checkpoints. Along the pilgrimage, there's 4 spiritual checkpoints.
It's a cosmic check. Something spiritually stops you from going by. One woman once got her hair tangled in the bell rope and couldn't go forward. I don't know what'll happen if I'm not spiritually worthy, but something cosmic-wise stops you from going forward.
It was about 5 after 5 when we were quite close to the spiritual checkpoint, and we thought for sure that the temple would have been closed. Now, if the temple had been closed, that means that we wouldn't have been able to carry on, because you have to go through this spiritual checkpoint in order to carry on in your pilgrimage.
I hope this isn't closed.
This journey is tough. It's not easy. Gravity's pulling us toward Temple 88.
I hope this isn't closed.
Is that the gate?
Yeah.
The gate's open?
Gate's
open. Yeah.
Gravy.
I didn't expect that.
Might
Yeah.
be spiritual worthy to continue our trip. Oh, that is a relief.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
I don't want to mess up the karma on this one. This is an important one.
Kobo Daishi must have been with us. We were able to squeeze in and do our usual ritual, and I think we passed, 19 temples behind us.
I'm spiritually exhausted after that hike.
We made it. We passed the first checkpoint.
You can feel those stairs in your legs after today.
My knees are wobbly.
Yeah, mine too.
When we were in the spiritual checkpoint temple, the lady gave us some sweets as a gift. And I think that was just, it reconfirmed the whole fact that we passed the test of the spiritual checkpoint. That was, to me, that was a gift saying, yeah, you can go on. You can continue on your journey.
This is perfect. Last night we stayed at an amazing old temple, and it was a traditional temple with the irori fireplace inside and the small goemon buro, the bath. And we arrived very late, and we were very tired, and we slept, and we missed morning prayer this morning. I'm a bit shell-shocked at the moment. 5:15 in the morning, the door slammed open, and we had a monk yelling at us, furious.
Really, really, really angry with us. I mean, he was pounding on the door and he was yelling at us all in Japanese, and I had no idea what was going on.
He's apologizing to the monk.
He is?
Yeah. few of us young people basically missed the prayer time, and he went around pounding on all the doors, yelling, screaming at not just us, down the line. He said, "You've got to be serious." He said, "Are you serious? You know, are you pilgrims? Are you serious pilgrims?"
So he was angry. He said, you know, why are you here? You're dressed in white, you're wearing white, you're a pilgrim. What are you doing?
I understand. It makes sense. It's right. It's true.
Crazy way to start our day. So it makes it difficult. Isn't it all about peace and love and kindness and compassion? But yet these monks are just going apeshit on our heads. That's creating even more questions in our minds.
I think it was good because on a big trip like this, you lose focus. And then you become complacent. And sometimes you need someone to yell at you to regain your concentration. So I didn't like being yelled at, and I was surprised to be yelled at by a monk, but I needed it.
Oh, great, fellas. Here's a path.
Oh, you found the path of enlightenment?
Kobodaishi's bathing hole is supposed to be just around here.
Don't know if I'll be swimming in any of that.
That doesn't look too clean for me.
I think this was his bathing hole, I'd say.
It looks like it, but it's pretty dirty.
We decided not to swim in that because it was absolutely disgusting. It was very dirty. It was stagnant water.
That would have been nice when it was 1,000 years ago when it was clean.
But the pool we did find to swim in was fantastic. At one point, I swam out towards the rocks, just where the waves, big waves, was breaking. And that was a lot of fun. Like, you really had to hold on to the rocks to not get bashed up against the side of the rocks by the waves.
It was perfect, you know, getting to share these things with my brothers. You know, you'd think maybe I'd get tired of these guys, but we keep doing these crazy trips together, and we just can't get enough of it. There's nobody else I'd want to do it with.
That is a nice kobo.
After we went for the swim, we went to Kobodaishi's cave. That's where he was supposed to have gained enlightenment.
We're with the tourist pilgrim bus.
Just as we got there, a huge tour bus full with pilgrims rolled up. I was a bit frustrated when I saw this big tour bus pull up. It was nice, though, when we got into the cave. They were chanting the Heart Sutra. It was very soothing and calm and had a nice, steady rhythm to it. So it was nice being in the cave with them.
Good luck. Tomo, goodbye.
I want to sit here. I want to stay here for a few hours and just sit here. Meditate and get all the crap out of my head.
You wouldn't be able to relax in here. You'd get those big buses of tourists coming in here, saying their prayers, sprinting in, sprinting out. There's no way of relaxing in here and trying to let your mind clear.
We should go outside then and sit somewhere beside the ocean and try to clear our heads or meditate or just think of nothing.
So we decided to go down the beach to this huge rock outcropping that just overlooked the ocean.
Ah, if we can get up there, no tour bus is catching us up there.
I was pretty nervous. I don't like heights. I don't like heights at all.
That's not going to be easy.
We're not experienced climbers. And I was just thinking, you know, what in the hell are we doing? We got to be careful. You know, one slip and you break your back, you break your arms, legs, bloody concussion. I was just thinking to myself, you know, what are we doing? This is pretty crazy.
Going up is easy. Coming down is going to be a bitch.
Yeah, I know.
What?
Yeah. He said, "You've got to be serious."
He said, you know, why are you here?
That's creating even more questions in our minds.
Why are we doing this?
I have no idea.
Wow. This is bloody crazy.
Oh, what a view.
We made it. We got up to the top. We each kind of went to our own little spot, and we just sat in silence. It was nice because it gave me some time to think and kind of reflect on the trip and how I see it.
Nothingness or clearness or emptiness, that's enlightenment. But how you get clearness and how you get emptiness is by not thinking. But how can you not think about trying to reach it? I don't know, it's confusing. It's like a big circle.
Enlightenment's kind of reaching nirvana of a complete emptiness. You think of nothing. I think that'd be pretty boring. You know, I don't quite understand that yet.
We're looking, we're searching, we're thinking. And I think that's what this trip's all about. We may not find the answers. We may not find exactly what we're looking for, but we're going to find other things along this road.
This is a nice temple. Cool.
They're all nice temples, everyone.
Again, look, pick the place for the beautiful.
When we got to the temple 27,
Hi, konnichiwa. Genki?
we met a monk, and he was a fabulous person. He was very generous and kind and welcoming, and he taught us a lot. The monk invited us into the temple, and I was expecting that he was going to sit us down in front of the Buddha and the altar and start preaching, but he completely did something unexpected, and we walked around to the side, and then he opened the door, and it was beautiful greenery and plants and trees. And he said, "This is a picture."
This is the door, but this is also the picture.
And nature is important.
Yes. Living happily, what does that mean? Enjoyment is most important. To open the gate without speaking, only to hear the bird singing, looking at the butterfly, or the green, or the smelling sound, the waves or the clouds. Sometimes we must go out from the town to original nature. Kobodaishi working alone, all time alone, and thinking inside his mind, and communication with nature made him very great man. And Kobodaishi is climbing themselves.
Climbing?
Yeah.
Really?
Want to challenge himself and want to gain the more pure nature.
Nagasaki-sama,
Thank you. Arigato.
Come again.
I'd like to come.
Your teaching today
It's very good.
helps us a lot on our path.
Yes.
Yesterday we got our first batch of bad weather. It's religious training for us to walk in the cold and the rain. It wasn't fun. I think the path to enlightenment is not fun.
The thing is, you're supposed to try to see the good in everything, try to take the positive out of things and not the negative, but when it's pouring with rain, I found it very difficult to stay positive. It wasn't nice, I was freezing cold. I'm exhausted and cold. So, I'm getting a bad cold.
This is ridiculous. This is what reaching nirvana is all about. I don't know if I'm too keen about it.
Spiritual training. You tell me that someone in nirvana would say this is fun? I don't think so.
No, I don't think
Happiness?
Last night we were cold and tired and walking in the dark, and then we saw the warm lights of a Japanese vending machine.
In the middle of nowhere.
Look, in the middle of nowhere. What do you guys want on here?
Anything hot.
I can't tell you how much I love Japanese vending machines. Whoever invented them, I'd like to give him a big hug.
Now this, to me, is nirvana. Happy days, getting a hot coffee. Wow.
That's awesome.
How much farther do we have to go?
Well, I don't know. Just keep walking till we can find a place to stay.
I'll take anything. It wasn't fun, just walking along in the cold rain at night. It's a place you never want to be, you know, you're never happy and it's difficult.
It'd be nice to warm up.
This is gonna feel so nice.
This will feel like nirvana.
We did get a reward for our hard day yesterday. We went to Japan's oldest onsen, oldest bathhouse, and it was stunning. It was a privilege. One of the pools within the onsen is the water of the gods, and it's like heaven.
Now this is happiness, boys. Oh, this is beautiful.
Ah, boys. My head is clear. Everything about the onsen is just a place of calm and tranquility, and it's soothing, and all your muscles are relaxing. Your brain starts to relax, and all these questions and all this stress and all this tension and all this confusion starts to leak out of your mind.
That's why I don't understand nirvana. You know, if you're trying to reach that, and you're always thinking of reaching nirvana, you're always thinking. How can you be relaxing, have an empty mind?
Emptiness is fullness, fullness is emptiness. I think sometimes it's all just words. It's just garbage, I don't know. It confuses me.
If you go and spend your life devoting like these people have, you're going to reach something higher.
And how do you know my nirvana is the same as yours? Like, my happiness might be something completely different, and I might say I reach nirvana. You say, Krusty, that's not nirvana for me, but it is for me.
I think you have to just give everything away.
I couldn't do that. I don't want nothing. I want something in life.
But that something you want is nothing.
No, it's not. That's the thing. Not right now. Not at this juncture in my life. I don't want nothing.
I agree with you, and I think maybe if we were serious about it, and you've really read and studied about Buddhism, it wouldn't be just about this one life. It would be about several lives, reincarnation, and moving up in that reincarnated world.
So what you're saying is we'd have to do this trip about 200 times to get a fully understanding of what this is about.
I'm too tired, my head's too tired, my body's too sore for this garbage right now. My head's full again. I can't empty my head.
Okay.
The journey's half over, physically. Yeah, I'm sore and cold. Spiritually, I'm a long, long, long way from being halfway to nirvana or halfway to enlightenment.
We only got one checkpoint left. One checkpoint left.
Today we went to Temple 66. It was our last spiritual checkpoint. I mean, it was high. It was just perched on the top of a high mountain in the middle of nowhere. To hike up there would have been, I think it's a 12-hour hike. So at this stage of the game, we decided to take the cable car, not only to save our legs, but for the view as well.
Ikura, how much? Ooh, $60. Boys, I don't have enough money to get to Nirvana.
I need some money. Yeah, that's expensive. Although, if we walked, how long would it be? 12 hours or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's money well spent.
I bet Kobodashi would have preferred to take it.
Here's your ticket to Nirvana.
Happy days. If I don't get there, do I get my money back?
I never knew you could take a cable car to Nirvana.
I was a bit skeptical at first, like we were cheating.
Beats walking. If I had it my way, I'd have a cable car in every one of them.
But it wasn't too bad, you know. It gave spectacular views, windows on all sides of the gondola, and you could just see around the entire mountain and hills and valley, just covered in green, lush trees.
Domo, domo, domo.
Thank you. Arigato.
We're up here, man.
Yeah, we're up here in the clouds.
When we made it up to Temple 66, we were in for quite a surprise. 500 statues scattered all around the temple complex.
These things are weird.
They were representations of 500 different Buddhas that had gained enlightenment. Some of them looked almost crazy. You know, maybe that's enlightenment. Maybe if you reach enlightenment, you do go a little bit crazy.
These are fantastic.
Some of them are pretty ghoulish looking, aren't they?
It was like walking through a crowd of silent people. Maybe one of the most unique sights on our whole pilgrimage.
Here, that's probably the coolest thing I've seen on this trip so far.
It really was an interesting temple. And maybe it's because it was different. A lot of the temples were quite similar, these statues. It really changed the atmosphere.
It takes so long.
Buddha.
Sleeping Buddha.
Now we're starting around on the trail towards Temple 88. And our time is dwindling. And the whole idea of enlightenment in Satori, for me now, is very confusing.
I haven't reached enlightenment and I haven't reached nirvana. And I still don't understand what nirvana really, truly is.
I thought it was going to be a lot easier and more straightforward this trip. But questions just keep arising. Enlightenment, what it is, nirvana, what we're looking for, what we're searching for, why we're doing this trip.
Nope, not getting that way.
We're trudging through a path in the woods, and the path suddenly seemed to disappear, really.
We kind of got lost and got off the main path and got onto a side path. And we were kind of working our way through the woods. It wasn't easy.
No wonder no one goes to Nirvana. This path is too difficult.
Huh? Doesn't entirely make sense. Would we really be doing walking in this deep jungle? I don't know. Doesn't seem to make sense to me.
Here's your ticket to Nirvana.
I thought it was going to be a lot easier and more straightforward this trip. Enlightenment, what it is, nirvana, what we're looking for.
I wouldn't mind soaking my feet here for a minute or two.
As we were going around the bridge, we came to a lovely little pool beside a waterfall, and it was perfectly timed. We were hot, tired. It was a perfect place for a rest. We put our feet in. It was nice just sitting around the pool beside the waterfall and just relaxing, just listening to nature,
So I think today we got a very strong sign, a bit of an epiphany from nature. It was a small spiritual moment.
I looked up, and then I noticed way up above us, the waterfall kept going. It must have been 200 feet above us.
That is nice.
It was just beautiful, such a peaceful moment. One thing about this trip is it seems there's been so many Zen moments, so many peaceful, quiet, just tranquil moments of this trip. We're a bit clearer now, so when we see little things, we stop and take notice, like leaves falling or little caterpillars walking along, plants or trees, and you can take appreciation from them.
The beginning of the trip, I struggled. I struggled a lot with where is it? How do you find it? This enlightenment, I struggled. But at the beginning, at temple number 1, the Obo-san, the monk, told us before we set out that Satori, enlightenment is inside you. Over the course of the trip, I found that that's where it was. Enlightenment was inside me all the time.
This is it. This is where we leave the sticks.
But I do think I found something. All you need is some calm, some peace. Go to a forest, sit by a stream. I now know where to look. Just look within. Look inside yourself. Look inside your soul. Look inside your heart. And you'll find happiness.
Journeys like this, they don't stop. Life is a continuous journey, and questions are always going to be there. And sometimes you won't get the answers, but you know, you keep going, and maybe one question will fade, but others will come up, and there'll never, ever be an end to the questions that you'll come across.
Kobo, I have a question.
Can I drink beer?